I recently watched the movie Inside Out 2. My kids started watching it a few days ago, and I saw bits and pieces of it, but I actually took the time to actually watch it in its entirety when no one else was home. But my husband did come home for a little while and made the remark, "You're watching a kids movie?" Yep. I know it's about a girl entering puberty, but man, it has a lot of similarities to perimenopause. And I told him about that afterwards. But first, I want to give you some highlights of what I took away from the movie. Then I'm going to go into why I think it is similar to perimenopause. So, as a former mental health therapist and someone that really loves to dive into how the mind works and how our thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and body responses are all interconnected, this movie nailed it. So, here are some points made in the movie that I really, enjoyed. Our memories make beliefs. Our beliefs are what make our sense of self and help us make choices. All of our experiences, memories, feelings, and beliefs come together to make you unique. Another one is when we suppress or try to forget our experiences, feelings, or emotions, our body and mind still remembers them. They might be clear in the back of our mind and in our body somewhere, but they're still there. Everything is stored in our minds and our bodies. And there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. The body does keep the energy from all of our experiences, beliefs, and feelings within our cells, which can cause physical and mental issues. We are all energy and we can sense energy and the subtle changes in other people's energy or body language. Have you ever known what mood someone was in as soon as they walked in the door? That is their energy, and you picked up on it. In the movie, there's a scene where Riley and her two friends are going to camp, and Riley pauses because she senses that her friends are keeping something from her just by the look they're giving her, their body language. It was really subtle. Like you could go back and they go, oh, they just do these little photo things going back and forth, back and forth. And it was like there was just a subtle change in their facial expression. But our body and mind can sense this change in energy. And it turns out her friends were assigned to a different high school than her the next year. Bummer. Another thing that I took away from this movie is that you create the meaning of your experiences by how you interpret the thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and body responses resulting from that experience, which can turn into beliefs, positive or negative, good or bad memories, and the resulting beliefs from them. So if you've ever had a belief that you are not enough, you still have a choice in how you respond. In the movie, Riley used the belief, I'm not good enough, to be hyper focused on scoring 3 goals in a scrimmage, but it was at the expense of hurting others. Every emotion is good for you. All emotions are there to protect you and enhance your experiences in life. Fear is there to protect you from things that are happening right now, in the moment. Anxiety is there to protect us from things that we cannot see, something that maybe hasn't happened yet. There are so many thoughts that go through your mind based on the various feelings that you have. And my interpretation of this is that all feelings and emotions are okay. It just depends on the duration, frequency, and intensity of the feelings or emotions and the choices made that make it beneficial for us or not. Just like certain foods, sugar and fried foods are good on occasion, but eat too much of it at once and your body is going to let you know. Eat too much sugar and fried foods repeatedly over a longer period of time, you're going to have some health issues. Another thing I took away is that your imagination can work for you or against you. Anxiety and worry are usually about things that haven't happened. Your imagination comes up with so many projections about what could happen, getting you all anxious. In the movie, anxiety has a room full of little workers just thinking of all the possible scenarios and things that could go wrong during Riley's hockey game. Joy comes in and tries to send positive projections, things that would be good to happen, and get the other ones to do the same. So, is this movie about puberty or perimenopause? This movie describes puberty as changes that happen so fast, like boom, overnight. One day Riley was fine, then overnight, this wrecking ball comes in and starts demolishing the whole control center of the mind to make room for more complex emotions that are coming during puberty. Then Riley wakes up the next day and she instantly goes through a variety of moods, changing from one emotion to the other in a matter of seconds, being fine to irritable and angry to being sad and disgusted to embarrassed, all in the matter of seconds or minutes. Then there was a scene where Joy tries to get above all the memories to see headquarters, but the lift wouldn't work to lift her up higher. And I think it was anger that stated something like, ever since puberty button went off, things don't work like the way they were supposed to anymore. Well, isn't that the same as what happens in perimenopause? Like puberty is the introduction of all these new hormones of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. The body is just trying to figure out what to do with them and come back into harmony with them. It's a definite change to what the body was used to before. And we can say the same about all the months and years while we as women are menstruating, as the hormones are fluctuating all the time, but I'm not going to go there today. But I do think it's really similar to perimenopause in that it seems to happen overnight. It is the point to where your hormones are diminishing and going up and down all at the same time. Your body doesn't quite know what to do about it. It's a disruption to what we considered normal for us. It's a big change. And I was listening to JJ Virgin's Well Beyond 40 podcast recently, and there was an episode where Dr. Mariza Snyder was talking about perimenopause symptoms and different things. And she stated something that was really kind of interesting to me because she stated that postpartum, like after you have a baby, it's like a preview of what perimenopause is. Like, oh, looking back through all of my pregnancies and the postpartum part of that, like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Our body is trying to get back into balance without all the hormones and the amount of hormones it was used to having, but doesn't have right now. What happens is chaos to the body. Dr. Mariza Snyder has a symptom chart of over 50 different perimenopause symptoms, including the mental stuff, physical, emotional, and some behavioral things. Some emotional symptoms that are really similar to those of puberty are unpredictable mood swings, brain fog, irritability, anxiety, depression, and lack of focus. The brain is just not working quite right. It doesn't know how to function without the hormones like it was used to. In perimenopause, things don't work the way they're supposed to anymore. We can't stop puberty or perimenopause from happening, but we can take steps to understand what stage we or our teens or soon to be teens are in and develop some positive strategies to help cope or reduce symptoms in our ever changing bodies. Some basic strategies include, and I know you're just going to scream at me because the first three are pretty basic and I keep repeating them over and over again, but we all need to hear them. Good nutrition and a healthy diet. Food is our fuel. If we don't feed ourselves the right nutrition, our minds and our bodies will not work properly. Exercise. Our bodies are meant to move. If we're stagnant for too long, we're going to get stiff and sore and sick. Moving our bodies helps all of our systems work optimally. Sleep. I cannot repeat enough how sleep is so important. Getting enough quality sleep each night is going to help us tremendously. Not getting enough sleep will hijack our minds and our bodies, causing our brains to make poor choices and our bodies to crave things like food-like substances that are not the proper fuel for our bodies. Now, other parts of strategies are from more towards based off of this movie is to embrace all of your emotions. Allow yourself to feel every emotion. Emotions and feelings are just messages. Listen to them. Listen to get the message, then respond on how best to deal with the emotion. Learn how to regulate your emotions. It's called emotional regulation. When our bodies are running high, we need to find strategies that work to regain control. Like at the end of the movie, when anxiety is just doing her thing and projecting all the bad things that could happen to Riley if she doesn't make this hockey team, Joy encourages her to go sit in her special chair, nice massage chair, and gives her a cup of tea and tells her, like, what can we control right now? So turning that focus on what we can control in the moment, what is going on right now that she can help with. And remember, you are in control. Your emotions don't get to choose what you think or who you are or who you become. You get to choose the meaning of your experiences that lead to your beliefs. You have the power to change a past meaning or belief by viewing it differently. And last strategy is to find a doctor that understands hormones, perimenopause, and menopause. It's about your hormones changing, not about a mood disorder or a need for birth control. It's your hormones. The same hormones that started the chaos in your teens are wreaking havoc again some 30 to 40 years later. So I really love this movie and appreciate it for bringing to light our wonderful thoughts and feelings and what goes on in our brains. But I'm going to have a teenage son soon. So where's the movie that will help me understand what is going on in his mind? So if anyone knows the movie about that, please, please let me know. And since think that then I feel that this really mirrors perimenopause, suggest this movie to the guys in your life, like I did. Like, hey, this kind of sounds like perimenopause to me. So maybe they can too start to understand the irritability, mood swings, and other brain issues is a result of the hormones changing. You're not going through some midlife crisis. Well, maybe you are. Your hormones are in crisis, but this is just a natural process. But we don't have to just take the symptoms as they come. There are things we can do to help regulate ourselves better. So unless there's a movie about what happens to women during perimenopause, and I don't know about it, let me know because I want to learn all I can. And I hope you do too when that time comes for you. So I'd love to know your take on this movie. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Have a great day.